story we can tell. They try to put some bodies we ain't doing. We beat them.
On May the 27th, 2018, King Von and THF Bezu released their first song, Beat That Body, a track coming with shocking lyrics where Von essentially admits to catching bodies, beating them, and even saying that he now plans to catch more. This insane backstory would be irresistible for Chicago drill fans.
But how he say that though? How he say that? He said, oh, caught a body, beat that body, catch some more. Lil Savage in me never going masked up. They can't tell who's scoring.
Plans to catch more. This insane backstory would be irresistible for Chicago drill fans, with Dirk later revealing that people instantly went crazy for Von's music in Chicago.
And he see like us what we doing his music, and I had a studio in my house. He just tried it, and when he dropped the song, like the reaction was like, "He next." I'm like, oh, you on to something, you know what I'm saying?
But Von didn't seem too hopeful for his rap career to begin with, barely promoting the song, and seemingly having no plans to give up his full-time job as an O-Block driller, or at least shot caller, because in the months that followed Von's musical debut, killings would still continue to play out in the streets, with Von appearing to remain plugged into the action. Not only giving Von and his gang even more credit in the streets, but with these murders also providing Von with the inspiration to get back into the booth, where he would continue to record music all about the deadly violence that he would soon become famous for.
man using killing as content for music. All the bodies he popped as like. But then again, like I said in the beginning, he definitely ain't the first person to do this, you know? He just telling his life, for real.
While King Von was in jail, numerous people from O-Block ended up getting killed. Perhaps it was precisely because their most fearless shooter was in jail that so many people ended up passing while he was gone. Von was particularly hurt by the killing of T-Roy, his right-hand man. And after T-Roy was killed, a new set of gangsters would form in O-Block who went by the name Get Back Gang. This was a hardened crew of shooters whose sole focus was to get revenge or get back for the murder of T-Roy and other beloved O-Block natives who had been killed while Von was in jail. Another one of these fallen O-Block affiliates was Chino, who was shot dead on the 17th of July 2016. Another, Big A, was gunned down in a restaurant near O-Block on the 4th of December 2016. Get Back Gang would be on a killing spree trying to avenge their fallen friends, looking to kill anyone who played a role in their demise. Poppy, believed to have been involved in hits against O-Block, would be gunned down at work on the 16th of June 2017, allegedly
at work. They call him slacking at work. Yo, that's crazy, bro. Like, where else you gonna catch somebody slacking for real? I mean, work is the best place to hit them, but that show how savage and heartless some of these kids were, bro. I'm gonna go get you at work. I don't care about nobody who's innocent. No witness, no passerby, no nothing. I don't care. I'm gonna get you. That's crazy, bro. This life is crazy.
Being shot in the head by an O-Block member called Heck, who would go on to be known by the nickname HK or Headshot King. HK was T-Roy's brother and would reportedly avenge him, with T-Roy's alleged killer TB or Terry Barry being shot dead on the 26th of December 2017. However, HK himself would end up being killed in O-Block 2 just before Von got out of jail on the 24th of November 2017. Another person who seemingly lost their life to Get Back Gang's revenge campaign during this time would be FBG Brick, FBG Doug's brother, rumoured to have played a role in giving up T-Roy's location to the ops the day he was killed, with Brick and his friend Kobe being gunned down in a Get Back Gang attack on the 17th of July 2017. In fact, many of these murders played out in 2017 whilst Von was still behind bars for the murder of Malcolm Stuckey. And when Von got out, despite becoming a rapper, spending time in Atlanta with Lil Durk, and seemingly taking a step away from the gang war, Von would still seem to be looked at as a senior figure and shot caller to members of O-Block and Get Back Gang. And when they killed again, King Von would be on the sideline.
If he was still alive, you think he beat all this? Like, I don't think he would've, but just what if he did? Yo, like, his whole story would be so crazy right now. He'd be headlining with Drake and people like that, I swear. If he, like, beat all his cases and was still alive and beat whatever they had coming for him where all his friends got locked up, if he had beat all that, there's no telling where he would be right now. Like, he was destined to be on the world stage, bro. Like, to have the eyes of the world on him, for real.
And celebrating the murder as if it was one of his own. On June the 13th, 2018, King Von would tweet saying that there's a new rule. You can only diss or smoke a dead person that you yourself actually killed. Only days after that tweet, Get Back Gang would unfortunately claim another life. The next unlucky person to be killed would be a St. Lawrence native by the name of Can't Get Right, aka Man Man, real name DeAndre Wallace. On June the 15th, 2018, around 9:50 PM, Can't Get Right is waiting for food outside of a store on 400 block of East 63rd Street. At a certain point, two people pulled up and waited outside, and when the target was spotted, those two men ran up, opening fire, killing both the target as well as an innocent bystander that was just there sweeping up outside the restaurant. And once again, the shooting and immediate aftermath were captured on CCTV footage and by witnesses in clips that are far too grisly to show you on YouTube. Both men shot in the incident were pronounced dead at the University of Chicago Hospital, with the news even later reporting on this assassination.
Morning are looking for the gunman who killed two men overnight. They were standing outside of a store in the city's Woodlawn neighborhood when someone started shooting. A 43-year-old man was shot in the chest. He died at the hospital. The other victim, a 22-year-old, also died. Police say the 22-year-old is a known gang member and was the intended target.
King Von would go live on the same day as this double murder alongside Memo 600 while still in Atlanta with Lil Durk's team. And in this live, King Von would set out to poke fun at his murdered rivals immediately after they were killed. And let's not forget, only days before this, King Von tweeted that you can't disrespect the dead unless you played a role in killing them. With that in mind, King Von's livestream after the murder was truly a masterclass in self-incrimination. They would start the live off lighting a blunt and saying that there's...
He said a masterclass in self-incrimination. Yo, that's true though. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, why you gonna commit any kind of shiesty act and then put that up on the internet, bro? Like, what?
Smoking Can't Get Right and asking the viewers what just happened.
There you go. Can't get right. There you go. There you go. Cause I can't get right.
All right, everybody, not at one time. What just happened?
Damn,
What just
a
happened?
lot of glizzies and F's.
Hold on, you right there with your hand. You tell me what happened. Who got killed? That's what I'm asking y'all. Who got killed, gang?
Yeah.
Can't Get Right got killed.
Word. Can't get right.
Hey, somebody show me a picture. I don't think I know y'all talking about. Is this Can't Get...
Is that can't get right? Hold on, is this him? Is this can't get right?
This ain't called snitching. I'm just trying to get verified. You get verification.
From here, people start commenting Can't Get Up, and it seems that the O-Block hitters are so amused by this wordplay, they essentially confess to being involved in the murder on the spot.
They tell some can't get up. Oh no.
They always make some shit before we do it. They beat us to it every time.
Y'all should start killing people.
Oh,
Cause y'all be doing this. You doing the man.
Oh, Steve, this thing crazy.
After this, we see the crew say that it's 2 people down and that they're going to have to roll another one, whoever it is, seemingly unaware that it was an innocent cleaner who was killed in the incident.
They said 2 down. Damn.
2 men. That no, I can't
On
take
David,
2.
they said it on both our lives.
I can barely
On
take
David. 2 pieces? I can take one. Somebody roll another one.
Can't.
Whoever else got hit.
They even started reacting mockingly to the ops posting long tributes to their fallen friend on Instagram in real time in this live.
See that paragraph under that picture, you know it's over.
Damn, best friend, you just told me to pop out.
I remember back in the days when you
just told me to pop out, best friend. Why the f you do me like this? You bogus as hell. They ain't try to.
They
Shut
gonna
up.
be dissing you. You better not get done like that.
From here, Von and his friends would continue mocking the ops by specific block and saying that the FN gave him a fresh fade like Lil Boosie.
Steady taking losses. STL. Steady taking losses. Motherfucker gave him a fresh fade. Boosie boost. Hey, why did they even put him on Front Street like he was even like that though?
Then King Von comes back and says straight up that Man Man must have known he was going to die and that no one will care he's gone.
He probably knew he was gonna die.
On BD.
I wish I could talk to him for that. Don't nobody even care about Can't Get Right like that. I don't think they gonna slide like that. I don't think nothing finna happen because of that. So
They finna waste the rest of their money on that.
we ain't even gonna act like nothing finna happen. Just y'all go in the house.
gotta pay for it.
Whoever ain't get shot, you lucky today. I'm finna go in the house. It's over.
After this, they even started reliving the hit, saying that their ops aren't used to somebody jumping out of the car and firing at them non-stop.
You ain't used to somebody just popping out a cut for real,
Looking at your ass.
really on your ass. You just get the flap past your ear. You just want to do like one of these because you acting like you fake tough. But get the hitting you, you damn, this shit, I can't move.
Crump getting that there little before they got you too.
Whilst King Von is on live bragging about this hit from another city, O-Block members Moo Wop posted a picture on Instagram with fellow member Duke saying that they are shooters. Meanwhile, E-Dog from O-Block jumped on Twitter to say that the get back is not over. Just the day after the murder, King Von tweeted saying that the stakes are higher now than ever and that the police have their eye on him. Von later tweeted claiming that his brothers made the new op pack, literally giving direct responsibility for this murder to his team. It seemed clear at this point that Von was not only happy about the killing that his friends from O-Block were doing, but he was actively encouraging it, and quite possibly the one giving the orders. Friends of Manwan would post outright saying that they believed King Von paid for the hit.
Doing all that, tap him up and see if he can get up and all that goof ass.
I mean, probably, because at this point in time, he's the one making money now. He's definitely the one making money now.
You know what I'm talking about, too.
Whoa. Do you guys feel that it was somebody from the other side?
Oh, yeah, I remember this. He gonna just, like, blatantly be like, yo, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I'm gonna just say his name or something like that. King Von. Like, blatant.
They may have did it, or you think it was like a random act of violence?
Y'all watch
within
this
the
shit.
city
Why
of
is that this nigga
Chicago?
snitching?
You know, did it, man. Only niggas in the city did it, man.
Okay.
That hate us. But they ain't gonna step outside them gates, though. Cause they know. King Von. We gonna say his name. King Von.
Straight up.
Von honestly didn't seem to care about anything at this point, and despite the fact that word was spreading that he was the shot caller in Get Back Gang's murders, Von wasn't trying to keep this a secret. In fact, he was ready to broadcast that message to millions of people, because on July the 31st, 2018, Lil Durk's Only the Family Involved Volume 1 compilation album releases. The project featured many of Lil Durk's friends, including King Von, whose new song Problems would be included in the project, with this entire track being all about Von having hitters that catch bodies for him, even warning people, do not get bodied by me. The song essentially tells the story of O-Block shooters killing people on Von's command. The song also featured an intro where he shouted out Get Back Gang, and there were lyrics about killing both the target and witnesses. Von would rap that killing is his hobby, and he says that his loyal shooters are the ones catching bodies for him. Von would also tease a music video for this track, which ended up dropping on Lil Durk's official YouTube channel on August the 9th, King Von's 24th birthday. Meanwhile, Lil Durk was impressed with King Von's murder raps, tweeting that Von was next up to break into the rap game, and this would be followed by Von telling fans that he would soon be dropping music with Lil Durk himself, and saying that he would be switching up and not associating with anyone he used to know.
Once the song with Dirk drop, I'm acting like I don't know none of y'all. I'm acting for money. I'm changing up.
Durk was clearly seeing the potential in King Von's music, and from here, the two of them would be seen together on social media, having a good time and getting the fans more and more familiar with Durk's newest project.
If only he could have really do that though, like clean up his act for real.
I'm acting for money. I'm changing up.
Durk was clearly seeing the potential in King Von's music, and from here, the two of them would be seen together on social media, having a good time and getting the fans more and more familiar with Durk's newest prospect.
Yeah, what do you talking about bodies like that? Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy. Come on, man. I'm phoning them. Get your cat dog looking ass on. Phone get your rat looking, big mouse looking ass on. Phone up. Mickey Mouse. Damn.
Von was beginning to lay the foundations for a successful rap career, but he also continued to be reckless. Around this time, Von is seen in a viral Instagram live clip telling a small child on O-Block to disrespect Tuka and training him to shoot people in the head with a water pistol.
Shoot him in his head. Shoot him in his head. You got a point right here. Boom. Say it. Gotta shoot him in his head. Shoot him.
That's messed up though. Like that's really messed up.
Tuka. Tuka. You shot Tuka? Say Tuka, man. Shoot him again. Shoot him in his head.
After this, Von would tweet about having killers around him and posting pictures of his whole crew. And as Von's popularity grew, people would eventually annotate these pictures, speculating on how many people each O-Block member had killed.
That's crazy though.
Speculating on how many people each.
Let's add that up. That's saying like what? Going with the low ends. That's 7, that's 14, 15, 16, 18, 21, 22, 24 on the low end. On the high ends, that's 8, 10, 17, 19, 22, 25, 26, 27, 30. So what I say, 24 to 30 bodies for this group right here. That's crazy though.
O Block member had killed.
That's a lot.
Naturally,
That's
all
a lot
this
of people.
reckless behavior on social media brought even more police attention onto O Block. By the end of August 2018,
As it would, you know, like you all here talking about how many bodies y'all got. Like, of course it would.
Block is hot, and King Von is seen on live observing arrests taking place on O Block itself, even saying that he has his shoes tied in case he needs to run.
And I got my shoes tied. I'm getting out of there. They trying to find the secret recipe to the Krabby Patty secret Plankton. They trying to find the secret formula to the Krabby Patty recipe. Damn, they took the truck. No, they ain't take the truck. Ain't. Traffic man skirt. We gonna get another We Rich. Y'all can have that one. That's the one we on your light. They're trying to see what we on. Talking about what's going on. Somebody gangbanging with us, BDK.
Von would tweet about not wanting to discuss murders on camera and suggesting that at this point the gang war must be over. But as we'd later find out, the war would be far from over. While King Von was making a name for himself as
he said, I don't think we into no more. Is the war over?
But as we'd later find out, the war would be far from over. While King Von was making a name for himself as a rapper, still commanding his shooters from O Block, he would continue to be associated with serious crimes from a distance, with the next incident involving one of his longest running enemies and a feared op of O Block's, Wooski. King Von had started out October 2018 strong, fresh off the back of his song and music video Problems, where he appeared to celebrate his gang murdering O Block rival Can't Get Right. Von would continue pushing his career forward, dropping a full music video for his first song, Beat That Body with THF Bezu, which featured an intro where they both walked out of jail together. Outside of the music, Von was also beginning to notice the many videos being made about him and his past, even resharing a YouTube video breaking down his Twitter beef with FBG Duck, seemingly unhappy. Clearly Von was monitoring his reputation on social media and cultivating his brand as the toughest rapper out, doing all of this whilst real violent crimes would continue to play out on the streets of Chicago where he was from. Just before 4 PM on October the 9th, 2018, Chicago rapper Dusky the Man, real name Ventrese Chris, would be shot in the head on the 5600 block of South Michigan Avenue, apparently the result of a drive-by carried out by a passing brown vehicle.
You again, let me just come back. You hear the music right now, like this kind of like background music. It's almost like yeah, this information that you're getting, this is like a background stuff, you know, just like info for context, right? And like that's how this music makes me feel. Like if like imagine if you were playing a game to this music would come on in the hallway between like battles, you know, or as you're making your way from like one spot to the next. This isn't the music that like is pertained to high information or high active moments. I don't know, I feel like the music is so accurate to the information in this podcast, and not podcast, this documentary. And keep going
The
though.
evening before the murder took place, Von would tweet that there's a dark cloud over Chicago. King Von would go on live a few days later with Lil Durk, saying that he's smoking Dusky, KI, Tuka, and P5.
A lot of Tuka men and like that.
Gang.
A lot of fat heads of Dusky in the L, a lot of K in the L.
E-Dog in them.
A lot of P5 in the L. Light bitch bigger in the L. Okay.
Wait, but if you go back to when he said, you can't diss the dead unless you did something or you were related to it. He just said a lot of KI in the air. I'm only noticing this because I've seen this documentary and many others about King Von and KI and all that. And it's like, maybe right there he's confirming that he had something to do with it.
He got his
Niggas
foot
know
up.
what's going on,
Put
man.
your foot down.
Hey, niggas know what's
Oh,
Hey, ain't shit changed, man.
you a gangster. Only gangsters eat that.
You a P what you on?
You look nice. You looking real like
You
it's
look
Channel
like
Left.
a PG like us, a player gangster.
Damn, Channel Left man.
Violence was continuing to play out in the streets, and Von was loving it, because he would continue taking the details of killings his crew were allegedly involved in and placing them into musical gangbanging anthems. Just after a week after the Dusky shooting on October the 18th, he dropped a new song called War With Us, notable for lyrics that appear to take credit for the murder of female driller K.I., as well as lines dissing Tuka, and Von ending the song literally saying that he is a hitman. Von was dangerous, but now he was beginning to make it as a rapper. He wanted the whole world to know just how dangerous he really was. And one of the biggest enemies he wanted to get even with is a Tukaville GD by the name of Wooski. Von and Wooski had been going back and forth all the way back to 2012, when Von was catching bodies in Chicago. Von and Wooski had an infamous exchange on Twitter after trying to catch each other lacking at the local convenience store. Von would tweet at Wooski, bragging about people Wooski knew who Von or his friends had killed.
Imagine if you and your ops go to the same corner store, bro. Like, that's just crazy to me. I remember at a young age, bro, like 16 or something, I went to the mall and one of our homies called and he was like, yo, who down there? I was like, He's like, I bet I'll come. And after the phone call, I was like, bro, this really what we doing, bro? Like, this ain't it, cuz, like, I ain't trying to have to call and find out who's down there because this person want to get me, that person want to get me. Like, nah, bro, I'm trying to be free. I'm trying to go anywhere, whenever, and not have to worry about none of that, bro. Like, that don't make no sense to me. Like, for a while, that didn't make sense to me. I stopped doing, like, stuff like that. Ain't make no sense to me at all, man.
Something that Wooski would do back to Von in response. In one shocking back and forth in 2012, Von even bragged to Wooski that he had more bodies and attempts than him, with the two arguing about who would end up getting killed first. Not only did Von and Wooski's feud in the streets run deep all the way back before 2012, but now that Von was trying to make it as a rapper, he would be contending with the likes of Wooski picking up a microphone too, with Wooski having dropped the very disrespectful song Computers at the start of 2018, a track that featured numerous lyrics insulting dead O-Block affiliates like Big A, J Money, White White, Chino, and O.D. Perry. Wooski even ended the song saying that they're on the hunt for the killers of Poppy and TB, two of the prominent murders seemingly committed by O-Block's Get Back gang. So, the beef between Von and Wooski was incredibly personal, and Wooski was also very close with the recently deceased Dusky, with them having made the song Shooters together. Just a few days after Dusky was killed, King Von and others from O-Block would FaceTime Wooski, telling him that they were going to catch him by surprise.
This your big brother, yeah, you know the going on. That's your big brother, you know.
I wish I could say one of y'all was my boy. You got all goofies over there.
I ain't tell you what to do it tonight on
What y'all off the courage? What made y'all do what you
Chino
don't
to do it tonight.
Listen, we gonna surprise.
You talking about tonight.
We gonna surprise, bro.
Man, some bitches out for the free. But you talking about tonight.
So, from here, it seems like Wooski's ops hatched up a plot to shoot up Dusky's funeral because they knew that he would be there. On the afternoon of the 22nd of October, at Dusky's funeral, soon after this picture is taken, a car turns up. People jump out of that car and begin shooting into the crowd outside the church, firing indiscriminately, but looking specifically to kill Wooski.
That's
6
just
people were
wild,
hit by the
bro.
shooting, with Wooski himself being shot in the head, but he would miraculously survive. Only a few days after the shooting, Von would begin tweeting, I kid you not, comparing himself to Jesus, and then tweeting, laugh now, cry later, and game over, we won. With fellow, then tweeting, Von would begin tweeting, I kid you not, comparing himself.
They talked bad about Jesus too. They talked bad about, yeah, that's crazy, bro.
To Jesus, and then tweeting,
How many people retweet that?
I kid you not, comparing himself to Jesus, and then tweeting, laugh now, cry later, and game over, we won, with fellow O-Block shooter Muwop retweeting and agreeing with this. Over the next few years, Von would go on to drop numerous disrespectful lyrics referencing the shooting of Wooski, like on the track Grandson for President, where he raps that Wooski got shot in his head and now has to take medicine for his injuries. Von would rap on the song GTA, Who Shot Wooski? How Would I Know? Von also rapped on the track Go and Get 'Em that he will be at your funeral on time to give your mother a tissue. And then there's the lyrics on his track Back Again, where he literally says that he slides at funerals, shoots everyone outside, and that Wooski is going to feel this one, going on to say, I bet Wooski's still twitching, he changed, something different. Those are some of the most disrespectful lyrics I have ever come across, but it's also incredibly self-incriminating. It's honestly insane that Von was getting away with stuff like this, but it really was this kind of raw and real content that attracted so many people to his music, whether or not they even knew what he was talking about. From here, Von would continue to mock Wooski throughout his career, posting disrespectful pictures to him on Instagram on a regular basis. But ultimately, despite being literally shot in the head, Wooski is still alive today in 2023 and still posting on Instagram. In fact, Wooski would indeed outlive King Von, just like he had promised him on Twitter in 2012, the day before Boss trailed him.
What he said, we gonna see. Not before you, though. He said, lol, you gonna fall as well.
Died. But for the time being, Wooski would take a step back from the beef with Von and O-Block, and a newly charged King Von would go all in on his rap career, continuing to roll with Lil Durk and going on to record song after song about living the lifestyle of a shot-calling killer. But unfortunately for Lil Durk, rolling with this loose cannon would soon be causing him problems too, and it would only be a matter of months after the funeral shooting that Lil Durk would find himself in a car with a trigger-happy King Von, perhaps succumbing to peer pressure and picking up a gun of his own, with Lil Durk making a split-second decision that would nearly cost him his career and freedom. The month after the shooting at Dooski's funeral, which critically injured Wooski, King Von seemed to be worried about his reputation, tweeting that the past is always coming back to haunt him, and saying that he's not a murderer, not a rapper, not a scammer, just handsome. But also tweeting that if you play with him on the internet, he's going to your house. Perhaps behind the scenes, Von was beginning to struggle to manage his reputation. Now he was becoming a legitimate rapper in the music industry, he might have been worried about his past as a killer getting in the way of his new plans. Von said that he was having nightmares during this time, and that he was popping pills to cope. There'd be a few interesting exchanges around this time too, like a Twitter conversation between Von and his baby mama, where Von joked that he would put her on the news, and then backtracking, having to deny being a killer. At this point, Von was...
Wait, hold on. I ain't never killed nobody a damn
concerned about his
life.
reputation
Okay.
and was on edge to even joke about being a killer. But one person who wasn't worried about Von's reputation was Lil Durk, who was doing everything he could to put King Von on during this time. In mid-November 2018, Lil Durk previews King Von's upcoming song, Crazy Story, on his Instagram. Fans knew that something huge was coming. Lil Durk was taking Von to parties to rub shoulders with other huge rappers in the industry like YNW Melly and Roddy Ricch, even taking an enthusiastic King Von to the studio to hang out with Gunna.
Hey, Durk, yo, Gunna, Shalom. Okay, took him, man.
Durk would even bring King Von along to his interviews, with Lil Durk's November 2018 visit to the Breakfast Club being one of the first times that the mainstream music-listening public got a glimpse of King Von, and this would end up being a legendary appearance. Clearly doing all he could to put the spotlight on his friend and artist, Durk had brought Von onto one of the most famous rap interview shows in the world.
What's your artist name, bro?
King Von.
What's up, sir?
What's up, John?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Durk would tell Charlemagne that he wanted to sign Von because of the backstory behind him, with Charlemagne not being quite prepared for the realness when Von started talking about beating his murder charge.
What you want to sign King Von?
Cause he got a whole story behind him.
What's the story? What's your story?
My story, I just got to jail for beat a body in 2 attempts. Like,
So you was in jail for 2 murders?
yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't do it clearly, but I mean,
You said, how'd you beat that? Yo, Charlemagne, yo, look at this man, bro.
it's like,
so you was in jail for 2 murders?
yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
It's a little head nod. It's a little... But he ain't do no like facial reaction. It's barely there. Check it.
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
What you mean?
I mean, you didn't do it clearly, but I mean, like, how? I mean,
Like, you know, jury. Yeah, look, you know.
In the interview, you can visibly see Lil Durk trying to look out for Von and covering his tracks after Charlemagne began asking Von if he actually did the murder, with Durk butting in, saying that Von beat it because he didn't do it.
You gonna beat it. You gonna beat it if you didn't do it. That's all.
Von would go on to say that he can't get a normal job in Chicago because he's done so much dirt in the streets that if he was seen working a normal job, he would probably be killed on sight.
It's like, I can't work no job in Chicago, you see what I'm saying? Like,
Why couldn't you work a job in Chicago?
I got a face card. Like, I can't.
Oh, I got you. People
like,
know you.
say if I'm behind the counter at McDonald's, somebody coming out there do something crazy.
Yeah.
Then, at the end of the interview, as Von was explaining to Charlemagne that he had no plans after jail because he's got no experience doing anything, suddenly Durk begins to cough, seemingly giving Von an indication not to say anything incriminating about his former life as a killer.
What other plans did you have other than rap?
I ain't had no plan. That's the thing. Like, you get out, you got a lot of shit on your mouth, so you getting that. What to do. It's like, back to the streets.
Have you ever
No
been
experiences doing nothing. I ain't, you know.
Word.
This interview was also the perfect opportunity.
Yo, how awkward is that, bro? Charlemagne's like, word. He's like, alright, I get what y'all doing. Watch it.
Word.
This interview was also the perfect opportunity for Von to promote his upcoming hit song, Crazy Story.
Crazy Story drop like sometime this week coming up. Sometime like any day.
Von would go on to tease the music video for Crazy Story, telling fans that he has a movie coming. And he would even surprise himself with the amount of comments that he got on the post about the song. Von would go on to release the audio for Crazy Story on December the 6th, 2018, just 1 day before the 1-year anniversary of him beating his murder case. Von would claim around this time to be making chess moves in the hopes that he would win at life. And his next move would indeed be a big one. With the full-blown music video...
Alright, check it, guys. I'm gonna just pause it here, because it's halfway through this. You know, your boy hungry a little bit. I've been drawing since, obviously, an hour and 48 minutes. So we're going to take a quick pause. I'm going to get a little something to eat, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to get into the next half of this, and you know what I mean? So, alright. Got some food here real quick. Got some cereal. Got some cereal real quick. I got to head out soon, though, but...
Star on the 11th of December. Von himself would be amazed at racking up a whopping 110,000 views in his first day. But the appeal of Crazy Story was undeniable. It was a storytelling type song where Von would use his lyrics to tell an entire narrative, telling the story of himself plotting an armed robbery on a rich drug dealer and using a woman to set them up. But the robbery would go wrong when Von's ops caught him lacking, with the track ending in a shootout, and the entire story playing out in the cinematic music video for the song, with Von playing the main character and narrator. Von would end the song dropping his iconic final line where he introduced the world to his regular catchphrase, rapping from 64th and from 65th, we not from 63rd, shouting out O-Block on 64th and 65th King Drive, and dissing his ops from 63rd and St. Lawrence and Eberhart Avenues, aka Tuckerville. Dissing 63rd would become a massive part of Von's brand, and he would even later be seen selling merch showing the street sign for 63rd with a big cross over it. And the popularity of the song Crazy Story had Von's fans all over the world dissing 63rd without really even knowing what it means. Crazy Story was distributed by Lil Durk's OTF label and racked up a whopping 3 million views in a week. This is a huge hit, and today it sits over 69 million views on YouTube. Von was on a high after dropping Crazy Story. The week after the release, he would tweet a picture with the caption saying that people see you shining and forget that you're dangerous. And from here, he would make numerous tweets suggesting that the money was finally rolling in. At the end of December 2018, Durk would hop on an Instagram live with Von with a big stack of money celebrating the success of their release.
Oh, what's that?
I got a drop on the flex. He from Tennessee.
What that is? Confetti in your hand?
Nah, boy.
Now, bro.
Stay away from the keyboard, bro. You see what I mean?
Don't throw that, bro.
Then in the new...
What did it say?
Don't throw.
Nah, boy.
Now, bro. Don't throw that. Hey, don't. You gonna break something in that house? Don't throw that, bro.
Then in the new year, King Von would begin performing his hit song at live shows, even reacting on Twitter to his new song playing on the radio, suggesting that some people might have been shocked when they heard him coming out of their car stereo. Von felt like he had truly made it at this point, tweeting that even his mother was finally proud of him and saying that he felt truly blessed for the position that he had reached in life. But some people...
Wait, how he said that? He said... My mama told me that I was today. I was that. Oh, okay. She said, you that. Yeah, I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. Alright, cool. What? I've been telling her. Yo. Who would have thought? Bless for real. Alright, that was easy to read, but oof.
Was finally proud of him and saying that he felt truly blessed for the position that he had reached in life. But some people in Chicago were surprised. Now King Von was being played on the radio, doing interviews with the Breakfast Club, and becoming a household name. Some people who knew him in Chicago for being a ruthless shooter were giving the side eye. There was actually a really interesting
You're getting your hair in my milk.
People who knew of Von before 2017 to share what they thought when they saw him getting success in the music industry. Some said that they thought when he first started rapping he wouldn't get anywhere, but then when he kept progressing, it seemed like his life was a real movie. Whilst another person would say, 100% I could not believe it. When Dirk took him on Breakfast Club, it was so surreal, and he almost admitted to murder on there too. But still, I never thought he would blow up. Then Crazy Story came out and started picking up steam, and it was like, dear God, this literal gang assassin is being played at NFL stadiums. Off the back of the success of Crazy Story, King Von would begin going even harder in his music, with his next track getting even more disrespectful to the office.
I mean, as he should. He capitalized on it. That's a good move, either way.
On January the 9th, 2019, Mimo 600 and King Von would drop their new track, Exposing Me. And in the song, Von mentions Wooski getting shot in the head. He says that he's put in so much work in the street that Get Back Gang will now look out for him. He says outright that he was a killer before the rap, and saying, I swear I killed her, broke her back, a possible reference to K.I.'s murder. He would say that he's smoking Tuka and Lil Mark, and Von even shout,
or it could be just a sexual reference, bro. Like, come on, you know that. You ain't gotta go reaching. It could be that too, you know.
A possible reference to K.I.'s murder. He would say he's saying, I swear I killed her, broke her back. A possible reference to K.I.'s murder. He would say that he's smoking Tuka and Lil Mark, and Von even shouts out an old friend from O Block, DQ, as his shooter, suggesting that he will call a hit and have DQ shoot someone for him. It seemed like the more violent and real Von's music got, the more fans flocked to him. But since the success of his Crazy Story, and being brought under the wing of successful Chicago drill rap legend Lil Durk, Von was spending a lot of time away from the mean streets of Chicago that he had rapped about, instead beginning to get used to living the high life of a successful rapper like Durk. Rather than jumping in stolen cars and doing drills, Von was seen with Durk jumping off of luxury yachts, seemingly surrounded by people who knew his reputation well.
Okay, Dirk, yo, it's on you now. This Dirk scared. This scared. Okay, Von. This scared. Look at Von. He too scared.
Nah, but Dirk had the life vest on. I'm just playing.
They talking about Von, she scared to jump. They out here talking about you, all that savage, and you scared to jump in the water.
But all of the success...
He said, don't make me get my gun out.
Scared to jump in the water.
But all of the success Von was seeing didn't seem to change who he really was underneath. It seemed like Dirk was doing his best to take a killer out of a dangerous environment and turn him into a good person and rapper. But perhaps Lil Durk didn't realize that he was also inviting that killer energy into his legitimate rap career. Because on February the 5th, 2019, around 5:49 AM, Lil Durk and King Von were allegedly outside Atlanta restaurant The Varsity. Here, an altercation would take place in the parking lot where allegedly Lil Durk and King Von, along with fellow OTF affiliate THF Bezu and another Chicago native named Hella Bands, would allegedly shoot and rob a man by the name of Alexander Witherspoon, allegedly targeting him for $30,000 cash that he had on him at the time. Detectives would later claim that a video showed Lil Durk shooting out of his own personal car, a custom Jeep Trackhawk with a camouflage wrap and a large 300 on the sign that he was known to own. Durk had even posted clips of this car to Twitter with the caption, "Spin, spin," clips which even Von himself had reposted. Cops would be seen analysing the scene after the shooting, and the local news would report on the shooting before even becoming aware of the famous rapper's involvement.
Police found several shell casings in this parking lot. The Varsity was closed at the time this happened, around 5:45 this morning, but this club...
Bro, how you find that, bro? How you find this kind of news information? If it is, they reported on that before it happened. Like, how long he spent? I wish he would tell people how long he spent on this this interview, bro, for real.
Cross Spring Street was open and one
This documentary, my bad.
patron at 45 this morning, but this club across Spring Street was open, and one patron who was parked in the varsity lot to go to that club told me what he went through. The man from Chicago, who goes by Gutta, returned to the varsity parking lot this afternoon to change the tire and assess the damage on his cousin's car after it was hit by bullets.
Tired, exhausted, wild night. I'm just happy I'm alive, basically. So that's really what my main focus is.
He had just paid the cover to get into One Cigar Lounge across Spring Street when he heard the shots outside around 5:45 a.m. He says people hit the floor and he hid in a bathroom. Police say a 23-year-old man was in serious condition when he was rushed to the hospital after the shooting. They are now looking for a dark-colored SUV. They are doing anything they can to help Atlanta police.
The afternoon after the shooting, Von would post up on Twitter with a handful of cash and a gun on the couch next to him. Later on, posting a tweet saying you never know who's gonna snitch when the cops come. Then, the day after the shooting, Von would tweet asking if you can be a killer and a good person too. A few days later, on February the 9th, 2019, Von would be seen in the background on an Instagram Live with Asian Doll, with Von talking to his friend on the phone, possibly about this very shooting. He would seemingly be telling his friend that he thinks he made all of the wrong moves, and saying that the cops are now watching him.
Now you know I ain't trying to do none of this. Oh dude, that's so fluky. We just did the wrong the first time I told you like together, that's cool. You just feel like you made all the wrong moves, you know, on mistake. We just was tweaking on for this, you know. We just got to be tighter last time for them. Now you understand, see that look. See that's the part I was saying, like everybody be tweaking with me on, oh you know Jason, them all of my head tweaking with me talking about this, that and that. But I ain't letting you know that, I'm just letting them tweak with me and trying to make sure everything decent. But all the time you don't be seeing all that part, man. I'm arguing with the man about putting on, I'm arguing about the man at the show, I'm arguing with the man on the stage.
Yeah, bro, ain't that crazy though? The only reason why we could see this is because at the end of the day, some girl is recording him having a personal conversation, possibly about a shooting, bro, or an attempted murder or whatever it is. That's just wild to me, bro. Like, why are you recording me right now? Like, that'd have been the first thing out of my mouth. Like, yo, you know what I'm talking about. You know how many people be watching you. Somebody probably recording you right now. Like, why are you recording me talk about this right now? Like, what are you doing? For clout? Like this is why, like, all of these reasons is why people get caught, bro. This the type of stuff that put you in the wrong spot. Like look at this, bro. Like, and he peeped it too. Like, he saw her doing this, bro. Or maybe he didn't even really notice, but it looked like he did.
Tighter last time for them.
Nah, it didn't look like he really peeped that she was on live recording him, bro. Look, somebody's like, what is happening? Like, facts. Cause he probably listening to the conversation and it's like, yo, she really recording this right now, bro? Yeah, that's what I'd be saying. Asian Doll.
Now you know I ain't trying to do none of this. Oh dude, that's so fluky. We just did the wrong the first time I told you like together, that's cool. You just feel like you made all the wrong moves, you know, on mistake. We just was tweaking on for this, you know.
What they saying though?
We just got to be tighter last time for them. Now you understand, see that look. See that's the part I was saying, like everybody be tweaking with me on, oh you know Jason, them all of my head tweaking with me talking about this, that and that. But I ain't letting you know that, I'm just letting them tweak with me and trying to make sure everything decent. But all the time you don't be seeing all that part, man. I'm arguing with the man about putting on, I'm arguing about the man at the show, I'm arguing with the man on the stage, I'm arguing with the man airwork, man. And you think I'm just, you know,
You talking about where the fuck
he said, let me join and rap.
Yeah, they be tweaking with me, boy. I'm putting on that shit on me.
I don't understand him sometimes, y'all. Either.
Man, you worry about the run. That's little shit, man. That's what nothing you need to think about it, talk about it. Just everything happened fluky the other day. Oh, yeah, I know that I'm swinging you in the truck with us on phone when I get out right there. Well, you know, I'm high and thinking about it.
But clearly, Von wasn't too worried about the cops watching, because he would tweet on February the 21st that that he was ready to catch another body, and the day after, Von jumps on a reckless IG live with fans, showing off all the money he had apparently made from features, dissing Tuka, and saying that he's not a rapper, just a gangster who raps for the money.
Hey, this feature, man. You know, I just picked this up, little folks. What you about to drink some, smoke some? No, I'm gonna smoke Tuka. You know who Tuka is? No, what is that? That's him. He been dead for a long time. How the f*** you don't know Tuka? The rapper! Man, I'm not a rapper, man. See, they think I'm a hoe. Nah, I'm a gangster. I just rap because they be giving me money for it.
While cops were slowly piecing together the facts about the shooting, Von was continuing with his rap career, without sparing a thought to how much self-incrimination he was doing to himself at the time. On February the 28th, Von drops a feature on Dari's song, Gang Only, where he raps he has a lot of bodies, even saying that on his first murder, the victim thought it was a robbery. Around a week later, on March the 5th, 2019, King Von's song Wait unofficially leaks. That track has some brazen lyrics, where he says that he has more bodies than the killer from Scream, as well as admitting that he shot up Dunbar School with L.A. Capone, something he had tweeted about prior. He would also say that he remembers his first murder and saying that he missed a bunch of shots, but now his aim is better. And while these demonic tracks are circulating online, King Von and Lil Durk are having a great time flexing on Instagram Live and fighting over who has the most money and designer clothing.
Hey, you saw me flexing earlier?
No, man, I was too busy.
Nickname Papa. Papa, no spinach. Yeah. Come on. Hold on.
I was too busy. No.
Get your, that's a what?
I just
what?
know.
What?
This shit. I don't play. I just married myself to death.
Flash.
That's no matter though. You over there with 20 on?
Huh?
You over there with $20?
Don't try to count my don't count my pockets. I'm pulling hey, what's what?
He said you over there with $20.
Flash.
That's no matter though. You over there with 20 on?
Huh?
You over there with $20?
Don't try to count my pockets. I'm pulling hey, what's wrong though? Damn. You do it too much. Them GBS and them down.
Couple belts.
Hey, I'm saying.
$550 a piece.
You still flexing?
Hey, got these Chanel right here.
Later on in this live, Von would joke to Lil Durk, saying that he was smoking on Lil Mark and Tuka.
I'm right here kicking a Lil Mark. Dirty ass.
Damn.
Marky.
Hey, she's so much ASA.
Marky.
I'm just keeping the studio.
Tuka, nigga, y'all what the f going on? I don't know about this.
Yo, hold on, you peep that?
In the studio. Hey, she's so much ASA.
Tuka, nigga, y'all what the f going on?
I thought he was trying to. I thought Dirk was trying to change the topic, but it looked like he was supporting it. Thought he was trying to change the topic to like talk about music or something.
But at this point, King Von was playing huge concerts to massive crowds and selling verses to other rappers all over the country and making headlines in major rap publications. King Von would tweet around this time that he was scared to go back to jail and hoping that he wasn't making the wrong decisions, and suggesting that he was worried that if he did go back to jail, all his new friends would leave him behind. But no matter how far Von got into the rap industry, he just couldn't stop toting guns and thugging. At the end of March, Von was seen riding around with Lil Durk, toting a big strap for any ops that might pull up, even joking about having more bodies than anyone in the car and saying that he's about to get indicted and go to jail for a long time.
They back on? Are they right? Yeah. Up and down we go.
And I got more bites than got this low back up, man. He gets excited in this.
Wait.
It's over. So you know I'm coming out. Look.
After this, Durk had whoever was behind the wheel driving incredibly fast in that Jeep Trackhawk, with Von seemingly in fear of his life and joking that his gun is about to go off.
His ass up good.
Up and down we go.
I'm gonna go crazy. And this whole king.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, that's crazy. That's funny. That's funny.
Nah, cuz.
He said I quit.
You got it on the track, cuz. Man. I'll talk to my fans for this. Yeah.
I love y'all. Everybody on there. I love y'all.
What you talking about, boy? Hold on. Slow down, cuz. Where you going? Slow down. Cuz, slow down, cuz.
He's
Slow
just.
down, cuz. Thought the slow music was gonna work. Hey, cuz, y'all motherfucker been scared as hell. Doing 300 on that motherfucker.
I'm sweating.
Your life flash before your eyes. Hey, Chopper, so y'all screaming. He said, shut the up.
What happened? My seatbelt on. Hey. Back seat with my. Damn, my seatbelt don't work.
Hey, tell. Seatbelts in this work. Chopper, so shut your crybaby ass up.
I better get this young ass on. It's gonna be fucking cool. Oh, there you go.
Your seatbelt broke. You see that motherfucker?
Yeah. Moving around.
Like a little.
What else is there?
Dirk and Von were clearly living the fast life at this point, and seemingly having faced no consequences so far for the shooting at the Varsity nearly 2 months before. However, rumours would continue to swirl about their involvement in serious crimes. On the 31st of March 2019, King Von is seen hanging out with Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, who is signed to Baton Rouge rapper NBA Youngboy, with Quando appearing in a clip on King Von's Instagram where he would diss Von's ops on 63rd.
I'm saying though, they are 63rd. Dirty ass. Hey, listen, though, man. 64, man. Y'all 63rd over there.
It seems that back then, Von and Quando Rondo's camps were pretty cool with each other. That very same night that he was with Quando, Von is seen hanging out and hitting the stage with Lil Durk. Von would tweet a picture with Durk, along with a caption saying they've got to stay focused because their enemies envy them. The same day these pictures were taken, an altercation would take place at the Hidden Village apartments complex in Atlanta. A man named Tyreek Levat was shot dead, with the news reporting a total of 5 people shot, the result of a huge shootout. Apparently, a large fight had broken out between 2 large groups, and an hour after the fight, one group who had left and returned got into it again and begun shooting, with 5 people being hit in the altercation, and Tyreek, unfortunately losing his life, being found dead by police in the parking lot around 10:30 p.m. The police would say that the shooter goes by a nickname, but refused to disclose it to the press, with reports on this incident making it to the TV news the following day.
Now to a developing story. A shooting leaves 1 person dead, 4 others injured. This happened at an apartment complex in southwest Atlanta. Latasha Givens is live outside of Grady Memorial Hospital. Latasha, what are we learning about their conditions this morning?
Well, Christy, police tell us this all started at a house party last night on Landrum Drive. They tell us a fight broke out between 2 large groups, and at some point a man opened fire, hitting 5 people. Let's take a look at some of that video from last night. Police tell us 1 man was found dead at the party, while 4 others were rushed here to Grady. We're told that the victims' ages range from 17 to 20, and the victims are all male. Investigators are trying to determine a motive and what happened leading up to that shooting.
After this, a rumor would circulate suggesting that King Von and THF Bezu had something to do with the shooting. However, Lil Durk would tweet, "Never," just a couple of hours after the body was discovered, followed by tweeting, "Protect the money at all costs," the morning after. Von would tweet the following morning that you can do everything right and they're still going to find a way to bring you down, dissing somebody that he doesn't name. Meanwhile, another member of their entourage, Memo600, would tweet the day after saying that people will end up on the news. For the record, there's never been any concrete evidence to indicate that Von, Durk, Bezu, or any of their entourage had anything to do with this killing, and Tyreek Levat's cousin would actually do a YouTube interview saying that he also doesn't believe that Von had anything to do with the killing either.
They said King Von killed your cousin.
That's what they saying. I don't believe it. Honestly, I think they be just attacking King Von named it. I don't see it. You know, you could be with Dirk with all these fancy and, you know what I'm saying, then you over there, like, you know what I'm saying, then it don't add up.
It's highly likely that this incident had nothing to do with Von and Dirk, but that didn't stop people.
I mean, you never know. You never know. You really never know, bro.
people all over the internet making King Von body count articles and videos speculating as to whether King Von was responsible for this murder too. None of this proves Von was involved, but what it does prove is that even if he wasn't involved, his reputation as a shooter would have the fans and public pointing the finger at him regularly. But as the weeks went by, Von would continue to go about his life, whilst the cops would continue building the case related to the original shooting at the Varsity. On April the 1st, the victim in the Varsity shooting, Alexander Weatherspoon, would end up being booked into a Chicago jail on unrelated charges of possession of a stolen vehicle. It seemed like the police were slowly getting closer to having something concrete, but King Von just didn't seem worried about attracting the attention of the authorities. In a social media clip uploaded on April the 2nd, 2019, King Von recorded himself singing in the back of a car with Lil Durk, dissing dead people like Dooski, and saying that they almost killed Wooski.
Here we go again, here we go again, back on the road again, back on the road again, right down the avenue, right down the avenue, we catch you and you through, we catch you and you through. I don't wanna talk to you, I don't wanna talk to you, I don't really shoot, I don't really with you. Is I'm shooting right, ain't wrong. Is I'm shooting light, I'm shooting strong. Down one, Tuka, Zico, T3, Dooski, Wooski, almost. Fat head,
Also in April, he would tweet saying he's so real he might kill, and posting throwback pictures of him and T-Roy back when they were hitters in Chicago. He would even post a picture of himself with a gun in his waistband and a caption saying his enemies envy him, as well as tweeting about Can't Get Right being killed in the parking lot. Von would tweet saying that he's never the victim, always the suspect. And this is all while police are still looking for a suspect in the Varsity shooting. On the 10th of April, the day before the anniversary of K.I.'s murder, King Von would tweet a cryptic message asking if the streets could be his Valentine, saying that they're tired of dying. Then one day after the anniversary of K.I.'s death, King Von would make a biblical tweet, saying, God said to me out of his own mouth to cut her off, grandson. And grandson said, in Jesus' name, amen. Von would even tweet reminding people that even though they see him having fun on Twitter,
yeah, man, he was wildin', bro.
Dangerous in real life.
He was definitely wildin'.
Something to somebody if they go against him. And
What's up,
Von
buddy?
would also release a clip apparently promoting Lil Durk's new cereal, Durkios, telling people to go and buy the cereal whilst waving the clip of a gun. Von would also later tell a woman that he comes with the cereal.
If you ain't order no Durkios at you, hey, stop playing my mom twin. Order that.
A day later, on April the 16th, 2019, Von is on Instagram Live mocking Wooski for changing after being shot in the head, saying that Wooski doesn't diss them anymore.
He ain't been the same. He don't talk shit no more, nothing. I don't know what the
Yo, he was so provoking, bro. Like, think about it, bro. He was mad aggravating and just constantly provoking people, bro. Like, he was gonna get it sooner or later, bro.
Man, DM me on more than his ass. Them bullets be changing them. Man. I hope you watching. I hope you ready your ass up, dude.
That same day, he would tweet that he doesn't chase clout, he actually chases people with guns, and tweeting that Tuka died for your enjoyment. He would even tweet about the crimes that he was committing in Atlanta, saying that he's been doing damage on the Chicago streets since he was young, and now he's ready to cause problems elsewhere, #steppers, a sentiment that apparently Lil Durk was in full support of. Durk was giving Von nothing but support during this period. He would make a cameo in the video for Von's track Cousins with Just Blow 600, another outrageously gangster anthem where King Von raps that if his ops aren't outside, then he will find and kill their cousins instead. This is an unbelievable thing to rap considering King Von's history of killing people and their cousins. But the track would have some more seemingly incriminating lyrics, like Just Blow 600 rapping that him and Von are popping pills, riding in the Jeep Trackhawk looking for ops, and killing people after fights. Von would rap that his gang's body count is 24, and he'd rap that he kills women and men and can't tell the difference. And Von would even promote the...
Yo, that was the low end number from what I counted up from that one picture. Remember, it's 24 to 30. Yeah, that's crazy.
Video for Cousins with a hilarious tweet telling fans that if their cousin is cool with their ops, to go to their auntie's house right now and kill them. King Von's first tweet after posting that song was warning his ops what he would do to them if he catches them without the police around. A day after that, Von posts a picture of himself eating cereal and tweeting about having killers that want him dead and killers that look up to him. Von was also feeling generous around this time, tweeting that he had given his mother a Gucci purse and $10,000 cash, as well as openly tweeting that he still robs people. Von would even reply to a troll who asked why he's robbing people when he's a rich, successful rapper. And Von actually replied to this, saying he robs people because he doesn't want to spend his own money, he wants to spend somebody else's. But even if he was robbing, Von would soon have the music money rolling in even more. Von would begin teasing his collaboration with Lil Durk, Crazy Story 2.0, on April 29th. Then the day after this, on April the 30th, Von ends up having a funny interaction with a fan who replied to Lil Durk's teaser of Crazy Story 2.0, saying that she preferred it when King Von raps on his own. Von would reply to this saying, the song isn't part 2, it's a version 2, and that part 2 of Crazy Story is coming eventually, with the girl then trolling Von by pleading for him not to kill her, with Von face-palming and promising not to kill the woman. I mean, to me, this interaction really drives home just how absurd it is that you've got this celebrity rapper just...
Right, people were starting to make real light of it, like, oh, you a known killer and it's funny. Don't kill me. You know what I mean? But then again, maybe she didn't even believe all that. She probably thought it was all just stories or whatever.
Trying to go about his career and release music, whilst it's widely known that he is a hardened killer and people are tweeting at him, begging him to not kill them too. But regardless, things were going well for King Von, and Crazy Story 2.0 with Lil Durk was due to be a hit. And it seemed like King Von could do with another hit, because he had apparently blown through $150,000 by this point, encouraging fans that they can do it too if they just work hard. Von would also tweet that people talk slick until bullets rip through them. Sadly for Von, the good times would soon come to an end. King Von would return to Chicago for a hometown concert, but this would end up being cancelled on the day, with Von suggesting that somebody was out to get him. And then, on May the 4th, 2019, footage would emerge showing a huge force of over 30 Chicago police officers raiding O-Block to arrest King Von, with Von himself being arrested in dramatic footage where he was tackled to the ground with an enraged mob of his friends accusing the cops of stealing his chain at the scene. And the cops even had to draw assault rifles on the crowd to keep them at bay whilst they arrested Von. In addition to those clips, the full body cam footage of King Von's arrest would later be released.
Stay on the ground. Gang, just don't resist. Don't resist. Gang, why y'all grab me? What the wrong with y'all? We got a car. Let's go. Hey, let me get my money in my chain. Hold on, man. Oh my God. I got it.
Yo, that was aggressive as hell, bro.
I'm just gonna put him in here. We're good.
Following the arrest, Von would be taken to the station where he would continue to argue with the cops.
We got your chain, big bro.
He said, is there anything on you you're not supposed to have? He said, money. That's wild though. Yo, This cat be tripping, bro. Yo, that beeping sound would drive me crazy by now. If that was me and that thing was just beeping going, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I had to, man. I had to. I seen you. I had to get you out the way quickly. Why? I ain't the type to put this all extra. We'll explain everything in a minute. Yeah. Alright? Now, what's this all in there? Alright. Y'all wrong. Right. At the same time, though, when you get into custody, people that be your mans wanna, especially if you drop some on the ground, you might never see it again. They're your boys.
After Von's arrest, his furious mugshot would later be made public, and he would remain in jail for a significant stretch of time. Lil Durk would react to the news, tweeting "Free Von" with a sad face. But only the week after Von is arrested, something unexpected happened. On May the 11th, 2019, the fourth person who was in the Track Hawk on the night of the shooting, Hella Bands, would be suddenly shot and killed outside of a Miami nightclub before facing any charges, with a Miami Beach spokesperson revealing that Hella Bands was also wanted in Atlanta for attempted murder and armed robbery. After Von was picked up in Chicago and waiting to be sent back to Atlanta to face charges, 2 days later, on May the 13th, 2019, THF Bezu would also be arrested in Chicago, charged with being a fugitive from justice out of state, once again in connection with the Atlanta shooting. For the meantime, it would only be Von and Bezu in jail, with Durk remaining free and tweeting "Free Von," as well as an RIP to Hella Bands. Von would be transferred to Atlanta to face charges in connection with the shooting on May the 17th. And as usual, his sister ran his social media accounts, keeping fans updated with pictures of Von in jail. But while Von was behind bars, with his mentor Durk free, his career would keep rising in his absence. Only a couple of days later, on May the 20th, 2019, Crazy Story 2.0 drops with that Lil Durk verse. This remix of Crazy Story had King Von and Lil Durk going back to back over the original booming Crazy Story instrumental. Crazy Story 2.0 was a huge street hit, and today sits close to 100 million views on YouTube, and even landed Von his first entry on the Billboard Global 200 chart. Unfortunately, the Atlanta shooting case would also catch up to Lil Durk soon too, with Durk tweeting at the end of May that he was turning himself in, and sitting down for a TV news interview where he revealed that he was turning himself in to face these charges, and that he was also releasing a song called "Turn Myself In."
You're about to surrender as we speak.
I'm gonna turn myself in, y'all, and I'm dropping a new song named "Turn Myself In." Go stream that now on all platforms. Yo, if I heard that, I'd have been like, what?
Yeah. How come? Because I have nothing to add. Like, I have nothing to run from.
You are crazy.
A rapper's ride. Soon after we spoke, Dirk Banks, a.k.a. the performer Lil Durk, emerged from his lawyer's space and headed toward an SUV. Soon after that, he stepped out in front of the Fulton County Jail. One of his lawyers says he was swiftly taken into custody there, having swiftly flown back to Atlanta after he found out he was wanted.
We found out we had a warrant. We actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back.
He's willing to turn himself in and take care of what he needs to take care of.
We immediately canceled the tour.
He's got a multi-million-dollar salary music career going.
Did you do it? Did you shoot this man?
Why do people ask that, bro? Why do interviewees ask that? Like, did you commit the crime? Did you shoot him? Did you kill him? Did you rob him? Like, ain't nobody feeling to say yes, bro. That don't make no sense, bro. Ain't nobody gonna say yes. Why do they ask that question, bro? I mean, I guess they have to. I don't know, but so many people ask that question. So did you do it? Yeah, I did it. Like, who's gonna do that, bro? Who's gonna do that with TVs right there in front of them and they trying to beat the case? I'm about to tell you, yeah, I did it, then go tell the judge, nah, I didn't. And you got a camera on me, like, don't make no sense, bro.
Man.
Look at him, bro.
Crimes of which you
Look at him, bro. He probably like this, bro.
Did you shoot this man? Did you commit the other crimes of which you're accused?
No.
Warrants involved
Oh,
in
no.
on North Avenue involved charges including criminal attempt to
What else he gonna say? Cause like, what else is he gonna say? Yes. Like, no, bro.
commit murder and aggravated assault. One document indicates an Atlanta police investigator said to the best of his knowledge, Banks was employed or associated with a criminal street gang to conduct or participate in gang activity, shooting at the victim while co-defendants shot and robbed him.
I had a bad background, just growing up as a child, about father being incarcerated for 25 years, 26 years. So I had a rough past, but like me moving to Atlanta, I just thought that just changed my whole identity of thinking.
After Dirk and Von were in custody, an Atlanta judge revealed that they believed that there was enough evidence to charge both Dirk and Von in the attempted murder, and Dirk and Von would be seen in an iconic televised court appearance.
Today, Lil Durk appeared in court where a judge ruled there was enough evidence for him to go to trial.
The rapper and Bennett listened to the evidence against them in court. The APD says they used at least 5 cameras from local businesses, including this BP, as well as from the Varsity across the street in order to build their case against Lil Durk and his co-defendant. On Friday, detectives from Atlanta and Chicago testified in the criminal case against rapper Lil Durk in Fulton County Court. They say around 5 in the morning on February 5th, Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Derek Banks, and his co-defendant Devontae Bennett were seen on camera involved in shooting Alexander Witherspoon.
He said his chain was snatched off his neck and he had $30,000 stolen from him, and they stole the vehicle he was driving.
Police say Banks was seen on tape shooting a gun.
Apparently, their defense team were looking to put forward a self-defense plea with the suggestion that it was the man who was shot who actually initiated the altercation. Then, after some legal back and forths, Lil Durk would be granted the opportunity to get out of jail on a $250,000 bond. Following this announcement, Durk was seen running out of the jail and telling fans that Von is getting out tomorrow.
Be out here. Be out here. Yo, I'm getting far every motherfucker as possible, yeah? They talking 15 minutes, I'm gonna get 30.
Oh, we were still waiting on the driver to come though. Just hop in. We waiting on the driver. Hey, Tim, hey, you can just stay right here.
Another car's about to pull up. I'm back. Hey, thank everybody for the love and support.
Yeah, definitely appreciate everybody for rocking out with us, supporting us, believing us, you know.
Everybody that screams free.
I bet it's so long this Instagram feel fake. Vaughn will be home tomorrow.
Dirk was back, and he would eventually open up about his time in jail after his release, with his lawyer saying definitively he is not in a gang.
Then when you get in type of that, in a predicament like this, you would sit back and be like, damn, like why I ain't never do this more? Why I ain't never do this with my kids more? Why I ain't do this with my pops more, or my mama? You know what I'm saying? So it just set me down, so I just understand life more.
A member of his legal team says slightly more than 2 months after he surrendered to be booked into the Fulton County Jail, Lil Durk, a.k.a. Dirk Banks, did a book bag giveaway Sunday in conjunction with the Atlanta Entertainment Basketball League, where kids can watch NBA players and others for free. Because it was the right thing to do, though she knows there will be critics.
It ain't nothing new pop up because of the case. We've been doing it.
That he did not do it because of the serious charges he faces after a February incident on North Avenue in which a man was wounded by gunfire, including criminal attempt to commit murder.
We'll fight our case in court.
And a gang charge.
Lil Durk validated himself as having a gang affiliation, right?
Allegedly, right.
Among others.
Being from South Southern Chicago, essentially you have to choose a gang for your safety. You don't choose a gang, you can be killed just for not being in a gang.
Is he currently in a gang?
Absolutely not. He moved to Atlanta to get away from the gang life, to get away from the streets.
Von would also be granted...
Cap. Cause you know you can't get out of a gang just like that. You can't just, alright fellas, it was nice, I'm about to get on to a better life. Like, nah bro, it don't work like that.
Absolutely not.
Look.
He moved to Atlanta to be killed just for not being in the gang.
Look at her, bro.
Is he currently in a gang?
Absolutely not. He moved to Atlanta to get away from the gang life, to get away from the streets.
Von would also be granted a $300,000 bond, being released on June the 22nd, confirmed by a tweet, of course. With Von jumping on Instagram Live, fresh home from jail, and dissing his baby mama for not thinking that he would ever be getting out.
I want to shout out everybody that was on my dick and thought I wasn't coming out, suck my dick. I want to shout out everybody that was talking crazy, like my baby mama and all. I've been through some shit. Hey, last called me a hoe, I smacked the shit out of her.
Von would go from jail straight onto house arrest, opening up about his situation on Instagram Live.
I ain't got no good shout out. I can't hear. Damn. I'll be back later.
Part of the bail conditions were that Durk and Von could not be around each other, as King Von would later reveal in a No Jumper interview.
Yeah, so yeah, me and Durk, we only see each other like at court, if we got court or something.
But Von and Durk would still be releasing music together. On July the 9th, 2019, Von and Durk released their latest collab track, Like That. And despite their legal troubles, Von was still dropping lyrics hinting towards having killed K.I. and dissing Tuka. It's actually crazy to me that even whilst facing serious charges of attempted murder, both King Von and Lil Durk would continue to rap about such true criminality. Lil Durk's experiment in taking the realist gangbanger from his block and turning him into a drill rapper was going too far and jeopardizing his own career. It was only years later, after Von's death, that those charges against Lil Durk for the Varsity shooting were eventually dropped, with the district attorney saying that if King Von was still alive, he likely would have still been charged and facing trial for attempted murder. But in the end, whilst he was alive, King Von would face no real consequences for his involvement in this supposed shooting. In fact, Von would bail out from these charges and continue his career, not even choosing to keep a low profile either. In fact, even with the scrutiny of the police in 2 states, Von would go on to have one of the most successful runs in the rap game, dropping song after song of violent drill anthems, with the entire world following along and wondering how this multiple murderer just kept getting away with it.
Alright, that was part 2 of the reaction video of King Von being a serial murderer. And if you want to see part 3 of this time drawing, stay tuned, subscribe, liked, and just stay connected with me, yo. See you next time.